Hey guys, Ronnie Calhoun here with Miss Lou Champion Spotlight. We got Mr. Tucker Crisp in the studio this evening. How are you?
I'm good.
Thank you for being here.
Glad to be here.
So Tucker is recently inducted into this is a mouthful, the National Wild Turkey Federation Grand National Calling Championship Hall of Fame.
You got it, yeah.
So that's a pretty big deal, huh?
Yeah. I was kind of shocked. I voted for other people. I was nominated, but I was nominated last year and didn't get in. This year I got nominated. So I'm not real smartphone savvy. I've been known to kind of mess things up. So I got a call from at the headquarters, and I knew he was associated with the Hall of Fame and all, but I just assumed I'd messed up on my voting part of it, So then when he told me that I was going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, I was like, well, I don't think he'd joke about something like this, So yeah, I was pretty pumped,
Well, that's awesome, man. We're going to get into that in a few minutes, but I always like to kind of start at the beginning with people. Let's tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're from.
Well, I was born and raised in Camden, Arkansas. As far as starting out hunting, my dad, he was kind of like how you do a dog. He said, I'm gonna take him out, start him out with a 22. That way, he won't get gun shy and scared, And I probably was 7 or 8 years old. So he took me out and had some bottles set up on the log, and I got the 22. And well, he started off, he shot the 22, and I had my hands over my ears telling him, stop. And he was like, oh, Lord, he said, if he's going to be scared of a 22, but little did he know that he created a monster.
So your hunting career didn't start the best, but it finished pretty good.
And, I was notorious in the neighborhood. I stayed in trouble. You start out with a Red Ryder BB gun, then I kind of graduated up to the Benjamin pellet gun, and that was some serious. But the houses were right close together and all, and some people had bird feeders and bird baths. I could stand over my yard, pick them off in the, and I look back now and I'm like, man, I know why that fella was so angry with me, because I got my little pet birds now, and I wouldn't.
Yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't take too kindly somebody coming and shooting them, but anyhow.
Yeah.
Then it moved on to squirrels and deer, eventually, wild turkey.
So is turkey your what you enjoy?
Well, I tell you, I get more pleasure out of killing a big, mature whitetail buck. But hunt for hunt, turkey is just you get action every time you go of some sort.
Yeah,
it's just a lot more rewarding. You can you can hunt with your buddy. I mean, you can hunt with your buddy deer hunting, but turkey hunting is just more of a companion sport.
Yeah.
It's
So you grew up in is that South Arkansas? Is that correct?
Yeah, it's actually where the crow flies, it's probably 3 hours from here.
Okay.
And the drive is 3.5, 4 hours on the Washita River.
Okay, is that up by between maybe like Ruston and Shreveport?
North of there.
North of that? Yeah. Okay. I think I drove through the Washita River not too long ago, right through there in Arkansas. So I was probably there.
Oh yeah.
Or nearby. So you started hunting at age 7 or 8, something like that.
Well, hunting the Tweety birds.
Yeah. and when did you get into hunting, actual hunting?
I probably shot my first deer when I was probably 9.
Okay.
Yeah. The only thing is, part of Arkansas I grew up in only had 2 6-day seasons. Well, they had 2 days during Thanksgiving, which were doe days, and back when I grew up, it was a sin to kill a doe, you just didn't. So, I don't know, they let the younger chaps shoot the does, but it opened on a Monday and closed on a Saturday. And Dad said the only way I could go on Monday was my grades had to be good. And I still don't think my grades were that good, but he let me go anyhow.
Good enough, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, one town not far from there, Harmony Grove, it was a smaller town, they just closed schools on that Monday because they knew, most everybody's going to be in the woods deer hunting, so they just, they shut shut
That's
it down.
funny. I've heard of that happening. That's pretty funny. That.
As far as turkeys, part of Arkansas I lived in just didn't have any turkeys, and you had to drive probably 50 miles north of there, and I remember Dad struggling to even hear one gobble. And I understand now why he didn't really introduce me into turkey hunting then, because it was hard enough for him to maybe try to kill one. But really got started when I moved here to Natchez.
So what age were you when you moved to Natchez?
18.
Okay.
Yeah. And
what brought you here?
Well, my dad, he worked for International Paper Company.
Okay.
So
you guys didn't have any relatives here or anything like that? It was just okay.
But he to a friend of his had a place, and he told us we'd go out there and go turkey hunting. And man, we got out there, and I didn't know which way to go that morning. They were gobbling here, gobbling there. I'm like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying right here in Natchez, Mississippi. So just starting out though, I found out right quick to bag a turkey, it was a little bit more involved than shooting squirrels, and I think that's why it's just such a challenge. I think that's one that intrigued me so much was to But,
So tell me a little bit about this Hall of Fame thing. That so is this for calling turkeys? Is that?
Well, it's the calling part of it, but they still look at other things too. Like there's been a couple of people that got in there that didn't call, but just their their commitment to the national wild turkey.
Kind of their overall contribution to the sport, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's mainly for the calling part of it.
Okay. And you still do, I guess, some taxidermy work?
Oh, taxidermy, yeah.
Taxidermy, okay.
Yeah, I'm retired from calling though.
You retired from calling?
True turkey hunter will tell you that calling is just a small part of it. Tree you pick out, and where you sit down at is most of it. But back when I got started, the old timers would always say, "Cluck 3 times and set your call down." And we all thought that was like, who wants to do that? We good, man. You get out there and you cut and cackle, and man, they just they gobble. But they don't always come. They may just be gobbling, shot gobbling at it because they like it, But man, around here, these turkeys here are, people talk about 6 subspecies of the wild turkey, and I always said no. There's only two species. I said kind that have been hunted and the kind that hadn't been hunted. And if you get lucky enough to go somewhere that turkeys aren't hunted much, it's like taking candy from a baby. If you go out there and try to hunt that one turkey that's been hunted one time, it's a whole different ball game.
So they're pretty quick learners. Yeah,
but you still got to be able to sound like a turkey, in your rhythm too. I'm doing seminars now. I try to stress that do what you do best. Getting back to the cluck 3 times, if you can just yelp on a slate call real good and sound like a turkey, that's probably gonna be all you need. I mean, a hen. As long as there's a hen there, that's usually around here. A lot of times, less is best. If you want to, so if you've been calling to a turkey, and say you're 2 hours into, because I don't wait that long. After about an hour, I set my calls down, and it either comes or it don't.
Yeah.
But just depends on the turkey.
So how many things? This is a question out of ignorance because I'm not a huge hunter. I've never been turkey hunting. So are there multiple calls that you do?
Oh yeah. There's you got friction calls, which like a box call or a slate call. Mm-hmm. Then what they call air calls, which can be a diaphragm, or maybe a tube call. Oh, there's so many different kinds of calls out there now that make your head spin.
And how do you know? Is it kind of like fishing? You use different lures and you just try and see what works, or is it?
You might try one call and he may gobble at it, he may not come. But you'll say, well, I got some other calls, and most everybody I know is going to hit every call they got
Just,
because he will, and he may hear that certain call he likes.
huh.
And here he come here. One time I was hunting a turkey, and I kept going there. I said, "This is the best call. This counts. This sounds more like a hen than anything I use. So why use something else?" And man, we like a routine every morning. For about the 3 mornings in a row, I would use that call. But there was a real hen. She had like a high pitch, and man, he heard her. That's where he was headed to. So I finally, I said, you know what? I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna get one of my old high pitch calls and go in there and start out yelping with it. Man, I got there first thing that morning and hit that high, and he just flew down at the end of my gun barrel, So
Wow.
if I'd have used the call I've been, probably wouldn't have came.
That's interesting. I had no idea that it was that many different.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about how you got involved with. Tell us a little bit about the Wild Turkey Federation. What is that, and what do they do?
Well, I can tell you this: it has grown over the years. This year was their 50th year anniversary.
Okay.
And I think we started going was 43 years ago, so they were just getting started, And Donna and I went to poke their head one night when they were going to have the welcoming party, and it was at the Gaylord Grand Ole Opry Hotel, which is their I can't remember the name of the room.
Yeah.
It's huge, and we looked in there, and I said, 43 years ago, it's about the fifth that size,
Wow.
so it's probably grown. Matter of fact, I read somewhere today right at 70,000 people, visit this year. So
wow.
it's but it's just an organization that's for the wild turkeys. You'll have a lot of people that disagree with some things they've done, but I mean, from what I've seen, it's on the plus side.
Yeah.
We got turkey places we've never had them before, and they're trying to. There's some states that turkey population has just declined, and with all their biologists, and they still don't have any good answers. I know, around here, 15 years ago, we had a big die-off, and we don't have half the turkeys we have now. They've never really came back. A lot of it is loss of habitat. You're getting so much land being cleared nowadays. Turkeys, they thrive in big open hardwood timbers. Now it's just getting to be more and more cut over, and so.
So that's some of the things that they kind of do is help with management.
Right.
Is that
scribe burning and places like that, really.
Okay. So 43 years ago, how'd you get introduced to them?
Well, like I said, moved here, and my dad took us, went out there hunting. Ended up how I got into the calling part of it was they had moved to Shreveport, Louisiana, and he called me up and said, "I want you and Donna come over, drive over today." So they're having a turkey calling contest. Never heard of a turkey calling contest. Yeah, I'd like to go and listen and see what it sounds like, And it's just a little small place there in Shreveport. I think it's maybe a hotel lobby, but they were having the Louisiana State calling contest.
Imagine what the guests thought that didn't know what was going on.
And when we went in there, first let me say, a lot of people don't realize what an owl has to do with turkey hunting, but an owl is one of the locator calls. You hoot like an owl. Some people use a natural voice, and they got owl hooters now, but turkey will respond to it, and that's how you locate him. So at this contest, they had an owl hooting contest, and I think mainly it was just for people to get a good laugh because some of the faces you have to make to hoot like an owl. Because back in those days, it was just strictly natural voice.
Yeah.
So Dad said, "Man, you ought to get in that owl hoot contest." I said, "Me?" I said, "You're the one that always talking about being the best." He said, "I don't know about that, son." I said, "Well, I'm not getting up there if you don't get up there." So we both got up there, and there was I'll never forget it. 1980. There was 13 contestants, and the way they judged you then was about applause. So like you hooted, and after you got through hooting, he'd go down and point, and people would clap. So they made the whole run. And Dad was one of the first ones, the first 5 to sit down, and he thought they'd made a mistake. He couldn't believe. He said, "You want me to sit down?" Yeah, sit down. So he got down to me and a fella from Waterproof, Louisiana.
Oh wow! So not far from here.
I remember his last name was Rab, and he was like 80 years old back then. He had won it for the last 5 years, and so he had to have a hoot off. And I beat him out. He said, "I've been wanting to retire." He said, "This is the time for me to retire." So there it was. I done won an owl. He got me a little still. I've gotten rid of most of all my trophies because I ain't got room for them, but I still got that little owl from 19.
So you didn't know that you were even going to be in a contest when you went to listen and ended up winning a hoot owl contest.
Yeah, I won that. And the funny thing was the fella that was doing the turkey calling, man, I had never heard anything like that. He had that diaphragm, man. He was cutting and cackling, and his name was Jay Brown. He's deceased now, but I got to give him credit probably for getting me into it. Anyhow, I said, man, you are good, and I just. So he said, man, you're the best owl hooter I've ever heard. And I was like, well, I wonder how many owl hooters he's heard. The funny thing was,
he's 13.
He said, man, I'm going to Grand Nationals in Orlando, Florida next weekend. You want to go? And I'm like, I just met this guy. He wanted me to go to the car races with him. I didn't know it was a Grand National,
Yeah.
But we did. Don and I, we drove, and we went down there, and I got first runner-up in the Super Bowl owl hooting,
Oh, my goodness.
And,
so a week after you
it was just like
found out that you
are
good at it.
I went from this level to that
pretty
level.
Quick progress.
Yeah. And but anyhow, the next year, I think I won that next year, and just got better and better. And I tell you, Boyd White from Natchez, he was like my stiffest competition.
Huh.
And that little rascal, me and his brother, Dempsey. Dempsey, he's won the Grand Nationals. He's a great turkey caller, So we're going, and I hear in the back seat, I hear this owl hooting. I look back, and Boyd's back there. I said, hey, he sounds pretty good, So we started going to contests, and man, we were like head to head, several times.
Huh. So is this something like, I've been in the music world and stuff. Is this something that you have to have your voice right for and stuff like that, or is it?
Yeah, it's the more you do it, you kind of like singing. You train you pretty much
your diaphragm and all that kind of stuff.
I guess you just strain them so much, their muscles, so you work them.
Yeah.
And the more you do it, the more.
Is it a lot about breathing with this calling?
Not so much. That's like trying to. Because I can't sing, but I don't know how to use. But I don't know. It's just almost like talking, or.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's pretty interesting. Do you want to do the hoot owl for us, or?
Oh, I can. Yeah.
We might as well do it while you're here.
I guess I can do it sitting down.
Let's see it.
You see what I'm talking about?
I saw the faces. That's amazing, though.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's funny. So that's what you had to do in front of people, and you had no idea that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
And the turkey part,
can you do a turkey too?
Oh yeah. One thing I like, people get a kick out of it. I can't imitate the different kinds of calls. Like you got a box call, wing bone call, snuff can call, and I'll go through those and kind of explain about each one of them.
Yeah.
The box call, everybody's pretty well familiar with that. You got a box kind of like a coffin, with a lid on top of it.
Uh-huh.
and it's friction call.
Okay.
And you always got to get that whine on there, but that clucking.
That's the box call.
Yeah. Then they got the slate call. You might have aluminum or glass or slate. You got a striker. It's a friction call.
That's amazing.
And then they have people that take a wing bone out of a hen and put it all together. But it's kind of a Then they got the tube call, which back in the old days they'd take a snuff can and get a piece of latex and lay over it, and you can cluck, gobble with it, I just,
That's awesome.
That's pretty much
That's your different styles of calls that and you can do each one of them.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's I've never.
I sound a lot better with the real thing. So everybody asks me, do you take that out there? And I said, I always got a bag of calls with me,
Yeah. But does it work whenever you don't have them every night? Yeah.
It works. Yeah.
Huh. That's
just sometimes you get out in the woods, it may not come out quite. So
Yeah.
Quite like you.
We've had a lot of different people here in the studio. We've had singers and different types of folks, but you're our first hoot owler and turkey caller. So I'm not going to keep you much longer, but I would like to hear about your experience in Nashville and just sort of the whole thing and what your emotions and all of that with it.
Yeah, it was pretty emotional. My son got up there and he inducted me, and I think he had everybody. It wasn't hard to dry in the house, And
Yeah.
Took me a little while to gather my composure when I got up there before I could get going, But
is that out of your character? Is that you normally
no?
Lighthearted.
We're kind of softies.
Okay. Yeah.
We're very, especially me and him. We listen to the same music. We're just almost like brothers.
Yeah.
In fact, I tell this all the time. He probably gets tired of hearing it, but I kind of make a joke out of it. We'll go somewhere and they'll say, y'all look a lot alike, and before my hair turned gray. I say, well, we ought to. We're brothers. But I got to wait for his hair to turn gray.
Yeah. Joke doesn't work as well anymore. Yeah. So whenever you got the call, your emotions, how'd you feel whenever you got the call?
Yeah, I was like, I called Donna first, and then I called Tyler. It was matter of fact, I found out back in September.
Yeah.
So I had 4 months to rehearse this in my head. Every day I go over who I'm going to include and, who kind of like paved the way for me to get there. You always got your heroes and you look up to. And I think that's one thing that fueled me so much because I had the opportunity to hunt with some of the pioneers of the turkey hunting industry, just like, Cuz Strickland was talking here a while back. And we were like, man, we were fortunate enough to start out like the George Washingtons of, turkey hunting and all. So I feel really, really blessed to be able to be a part of it,
Yeah. And you had some friends and family that went with you to Nashville for it?
Yeah, sure had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did Miss Sharon and Mr. Lester Freeman go?
They sure did.
I think they went. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He texted me today and said, "Hey, I appreciate you spotlighting some of our hunters and spotlighting Tucker and everything." And So glad to, this is out, a little bit out of my world, so I'm enjoying listening to
Oh
this.
yeah.
Um,
Well, you get to meet a lot of. I don't travel much as I used to. Taxidermy kind of keeps me tied down, but I've traveled, several different states. Got to hunt with friends, and
yeah.
I need to get back doing that some more. So maybe one day I'll slow down. But Tyler and I, we went out of state and hunted together before, and uh, try to do that again.
So you don't do the competitions anymore? You turned it over?
Nah,
Yeah.
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a whole different ball game out there now, man. I mean, we thought we sounded good back then, but
These younger kids.
oh yeah, man. It's just everything is so much more just the calls themselves,
Yeah.
I look at some of them, I'm like, man, he's like going nuts. He just practices all the time, and I'm like, I used to do that too, but it's just like you try, like the owl hooting part.
Uh-huh.
I got to where I was winning it every year, and I was like, dadgummit, I just feel like people are talking about me. Like, he needs to retire. It's more of a prestige type deal. You don't really make some of them bigger contests, you win money, but like for the owl hooting or gobbling, they'd give away it was nice, like a owl carved out of wood, real nice, and then like they'd have the gun of the year, which was. But after I don't know, I just decided to retire.
Yeah. Did you win your last one, or did you?
Yeah. Well, I did. And the champions was one that I really was after.
Uh-huh.
They and actually what it was a contest. You had to use 5 different calls and make 8 different sounds.
Okay.
So you had like a box call, slate call, just matter of fact, I was repping for a call company, and the man that Dick Kirby, which was had the company, he had personally made a box call for me. It sounded really, really good, and I beat him out by 1 point.
Oh my goodness!
I said, that box call is what beat you, Dick.
Beat him with his own box call.
But he was tickled for me,
Yeah.
Matter of fact, he won the senior division that same year.
So, when you got inducted, is there multiple? How many people got inducted with you?
There was 4 more. Yeah.
So you're pretty good friends with those guys. You've known them, or
oh yeah.
Is it a pretty tight knit community, I guess?
Oh yeah. Well, we live so far apart, but that's one good thing. We used to call every year. We get to go and get to see friends. But that's the only time we really seen them,
Yeah.
But they're all great people and great callers.
I'm sure those guys will be special to you from here on out.
Oh yeah.
Going into getting inducted together.
Yeah. One fella, he's deceased. Lewis Stowe. He passed away last year. His daughter was there to accept the award for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Appreciate you having me.
Yeah. Well, it was interesting. I'm gonna have to go back and I'm gonna watch this one probably 3 or 4 times. Normally I watch them once, but I'm gonna watch this one to break down your calls. I'm gonna pull up YouTube and listen to some turkey calls, and then listen to yours, and I'm gonna send you a text and tell you.
No, I can tell you right now.
I'll give you my judge's rating.
Yeah.
No, well, I appreciate you coming out and sharing that with us, and congrats. I mean, that's a big deal, and I know it's been a lifetime thing for you, and it's a great honor.
All right.
So
just hate my dad and my mother and dad aren't here for it, but I'm sure they're looking down on me.
That's right, looking down, proud. So
I can look forward. I get my wife and my son and my extended family and all them. So
yeah, I know everybody's proud of you. And all your buddies and all of them around here, I know they're proud of you. And it's cool that you put Natchez on the map or kept it on the map or wherever it was. You're representing us nationally, and that's a pretty cool thing. Yeah. So
we've got a lot of great. Ronnie Cuz Strickland, he's from Natchez. We've got several people from Natchez that have done real well.
Yeah, a lot of talented folks around here in a lot of different areas.
Yeah,
it's funny. Well, man, I'll let you out of here, but I like I said, I appreciate you stopping in.
Right,
And,
thanks for having me. It's been fun.
And I want to say thank y'all to the audience for watching this tonight. I think you guys probably enjoyed it as much as I did. The calling part, like I said, I really enjoyed. That was funny. Just to see all those different styles, but I learned a lot.
They got Hall of Fame for everything now. They even got it for turkeys.
That's right. Oh, goodness. But yeah, we want to say thank you to everybody watching. Thank you to our partners who make this possible, because without you guys, we can't do these interviews and we can't do what we do in the community. Thank everybody out there. God bless. And as always, have a champion day.
It's Juliana Wallace, and if you like what we're doing here at Miss Lou Champion Spotlight, make sure to like, follow, and share on all of our social media platforms. It costs you nothing, and it helps us continue to spread positivity all throughout the Miss Lou. Hey y'all, Juliana and Ronnie with Miss Lou Champion Spotlight, and we're here to tell you about one of our awesome partners, Wardo's Poboys.
Wardo's Poboys was created in honor of Alan Ward Granning III, fondly known by family and friends as Wardo.
In 2019, the oldest brother of the tribe passed away unexpectedly. His remaining siblings and loved ones wanted to honor his memory in a special way.
In 2022, Ward's family decided to combine the need for a sandwich shop in downtown Natchez with the desire to pay tribute to Ward's love of good friends, good times, and great food.
Through blood, sweat, tears, and countless hours of hard work, Wardo's was born. So go visit Wardo's at 309 North Broadway Street in Natchez.
Where the Poboys are so good, you'll swear you're in Cajun country. Hey guys, Ronnie and Juliana here with Miss Lou Champion Spotlight. We want to tell you about our awesome partners, J.E. Hicks Distributing Company, also known as Hicks Chicks.
Hicks Chicks is a local, family-owned food distribution company that has been serving the Miss Lou since 1945. You already know they serve all of your favorite restaurants, but did you know they are also open to the public?
Hicks has a wide variety of food products, including delicious heat and eat options like chicken and dumplings, white bean chicken chili, lasagna, and gumbo. They also carry a wide variety of seafood options like shrimp, crabs, tuna steak, salmon, and catfish.
Don't forget about their famous TNT burgers that are already pattied up for you, and their amazing dessert options.
So go see the awesome team at Hicks Chicks at 1380 MLK Jr. Road in Natchez.
Hicks Chicks, way more than just chicken.
Welcome to your new hospital, Trinity Medical. Located in Faraday, Trinity Medical is the only acute care facility in the Tri-Parish area. Here you will find an active pursuit of holistic health, a strong, honest group of clinicians, and a consciousness of others that transcends the 80,000 square feet committed to you and your loved ones. Trinity Medical. People you know, caring for people you love.
Hey y'all, Juliana and Ronnie with Miss Lou Champion Spotlight, and we're here to tell you about our awesome partner, Natchez Heating and Cooling.
That's right. Our friends at Natchez Heating and Cooling are here for you. They make sure you never have to worry about your home's health or efficiency. They have an expert team who can take care of all of your AC, heating, plumbing, and electrical needs. When you need them, they show up. It's as simple as that.
So call our friends at Natchez Heating and Cooling today, and make sure to tell them you heard about them from Miss Lou Champion Spotlight.
Hey guys, Ronnie Calhoun here with Miss Lou Champion Spotlight. We want to tell you about our awesome partner, Dr. Gregg and Gregg Veterinary Hospital. Gregg Veterinary Hospital has been providing comprehensive, reliable, cutting-edge veterinary services to pets in the Missoula since 2002. They welcome pets of all shapes and sizes who are in need of emergency treatment or who require routine medical, surgical, and dental care. Dr. Gregg and his team offer a long list of services, including in-house laboratory diagnostics, digital x-ray, soft tissue, orthopedic surgery, dental care, extractions, laser surgery, laser therapy, preventative health, and wellness plans. And if you need grooming and boarding services, they do that too. So call Gregg Veterinary Hospital today.